Alright guys, today's video is all about one thing, where crypto is really heading from here and what you should be focused on right now. There's so much noise in the market, bullish news, bearish price action, hype, fear. People have no idea what to believe in anymore. So in this video, we are not going to look at charts, we are going to look at reality. We are going to ask the questions that matters the most and give you clarity on where the real opportunities are in this market and how to not get wrecked over the next 6 to 12 months. Many people come to me and they ask me if it's my community on social media, people randomly that know me that I'm in crypto, and they ask, are we still in a bull run? And I truly believe the concept of bull and bear run does not exist anymore. In this cycle and the last bull run in 2020-21 was really the last of its kind, because once institutions stepped into the market, now it's a more institutionalized market, and institutions, they like volatility. They like when markets go sideways, not like bull runs in the sense of where just market goes up, spikes up and then spikes down again, but more like sideways going up slowly, trendish market. If you go into gold, S&P, into commodities, into all of these institutionalized markets, you will see especially that markets move up, but they kind of move up sideways or very slow compared to what we know more like a kangaroo market. I truly believe that we are not in a bull run anymore in the sense of how you know it. We are still pretty bullish, means in the sense that the market is still gonna go up over time, and we still have unfinished business in most of the cryptos, or basically in all of the cryptos. Bitcoin 125k, Ethereum 8k, Solana 480, 400 US dollars, something like that. So there's still a lot of potential and we still have unfinished business. The question is just how do we get to finish these sequences and hit all of these targets that I just said, because all of these targets come from technical analysis and these targets always have been hit in the past. So there's no doubt that this will not happen. The question is, how is it gonna happen? Is it gonna go up and spike up? That's why I said we're not gonna have any more like we saw it in the other bull runs. Are we gonna see a slower correction sideways, kind of then going up slowly, step by step, like in a trend? Probably yes. And that's what we're doing right now. It's a kangaroo market, so prices are jumping up and down, coming back again, going up again, coming down again, correcting a little bit lower, going a little bit higher. They're still moving up in the sense of, if you then in the end of 2025 look back onto this year, markets will still hit their target, but it's different. The price action is different. The price action is just not 5 candles in a weekly that do 500% or something. That's not what we're gonna see anymore. I truly believe we are still bullish long term. I truly believe we're still gonna hit these targets. I still believe in a very high Bitcoin, and I still believe all of these assets, especially crypto, are gonna grow over the next years. They just are gonna go and grow different than over the last bull runs, because this concept does not exist anymore. The biggest traps that I see people falling into right now is that they still are waiting for a bull market. They're still very much emotionally invested in this theory of that the market will just do a 200 or 300%. And again, I don't believe in that anymore. Market does not show evidence that this is going to repeat like it did in the past, because again, markets are different right now. They move more institutionalized, therefore they're a little bit slower, they have more corrections. At the end of the day, what institutions need to do is keep the price as low as possible so they can sell their product to as many very wealthy and rich people, which is then positive for us because more volume is coming into crypto, for then pumping it for 80, 100, 200%. If you go into all of the ETFs since the Bitcoin ETFs launched, let's say you go into the BlackRock ETF, the Vanguard ETF, whatever, for Bitcoin, you will see that it did a 2 to 3x or 2 to 300%, which is very good if you consider that they have sold these ETFs, right, to, let's say, some of the most wealthy people on this planet Earth, and they made 200, 300%. They're very happy. So institutions and institutionalized money, they rather have low risk but higher percentages, but not as high as degenerative percentages as we had in the past, therefore increasing the risk. So they want low risk and they want returns, but they don't need a 5, 6, 7, 8, 10x, but therefore risking then a total loss. They rather have a 2x, but then maybe having a loss or a downside of maybe 20%. So that's what people are mistaking right now. People are putting all of their money gambling, thinking it's just gonna go up and then that's it, right? But you will be shaken out. It's difficult, it's more sensitive, the market is more moving around in liquidity. Back in the times, Bitcoin pumped, then Ethereum, and then the altcoins. Now it's completely a mess. Meme coins pumped, and then altcoins pumped, and then Bitcoin pumped. Ethereum didn't pump. Now meme coins are pumping again. So it's very different on how the market was, and that's at the end of the day due to the institutionalization of these markets. I truly believe that meme coins still have a very important place and a role to play in this market, because as you can see right now, for example, I am in a PopCat trade, and this PopCat trade is in profit over 200%. My SPX 6900, which is also one of the well-known meme coins, is in profit over 150%. So yes, it seems like every time the markets are not doing anything, people still want to trade and gamble and make money, so they revert back to meme coins, right? So before we had the original pump or bull run, right? People started to pre-gamble because they could not wait. As humans, we are very bad at being patient about things, so we will find other degenerative ways. So, and that's happened with meme coins. So that's why we first had the meme coin, then altcoin pump, and then the majors, and then now we're back to meme coins. So it seems like we have this new cycle that is being created, this new habit, this new pattern, because market is just psychology. Market is the footprint of decisions of all people combined, like a consciousness, right? And this is represented as a psychological footprint, right? And that's what you're seeing if we speak about the liquidity footprint, right? It's mixing all the time. So yes, meme coins still have a very big place. You should still be very careful. But I truly believe right now, in the next couple of months, speaking of, let's say now March and April and May, June, July, August, summertimes where normal markets are pretty slow, I truly believe meme coins will see a big pump again. The most important mindset that people need to adopt right now is that they need to leave the old beliefs that they had about crypto, and they need to see it way more long term, and the markets therefore are moving a little bit slower. They're still going into the right direction, as we already explained and talked about, but they're not doing it as fast anymore. As a bull run was lasting 300 to 500 cycles, and it did 200, 300, 400, 500%, we're gonna have the same 200, 300, 400%, but over the next years, right? So the cycles are not broken down in 2 years, 1 year, or like let's say 300 to 500 days, so 1 to 2 years, and then 1 to 2 years bear market. It's more gonna be a slow up with faster races, and then slower corrections again, and then cooling off phases, and then going up again, as every other market and as every normal market moves once the market caps gets very big. That's not the same thing for meme coins though. Meme coins still pretty much behave, and that's why people love them and so many people revert to them, because they are still pretty much like the OG crypto markets, Ethereum, Bitcoin, and so on, because that's what people love. People like to get into a coin, being lucky, and then the coin pumping 300%, so they see basically 5 green candles that go to heaven, and then they 5x their money. That's what people love about crypto, and that's what is not happening anymore in the majors. Therefore, people are reverting back to it, also supporting the point we just talked about in meme coins in general. But the market in general is going to move more on a long-term approach, where we have more corrections, more sideways, and we have more difficult markets where news are going to play a very big role in fundamentals. Back in the time, we couldn't care less about fundamentals and news. Crypto didn't really react to it. Now it's very affected by it. I personally see the crypto market heading in the next weeks, or basically next 6 months, as following. I truly believe from now on, in the next, let's say March, April, maybe into May, we will see a little bit of a relief run. So we see a little bit markets going up and then correcting back bearish, Bitcoin to 70,000. Summer times are going to be very slow, so sideways, pretty much low, staying low and sideways. And then towards Q4 of the months, so let's say September, October, November, and December is going to be very interesting. So that's where we then go back to the bull run basically. But again, it doesn't exist anymore. It's normal phases, positive and negative phases, uptrends, downtrends. And that's what's going to happen. So here's the reality. Most people will sleep on the right opportunities because they are distracted by the wrong ones, listening to the wrong people, following the wrong YouTube channels. Crypto isn't that, but the game has changed. And I'm the only one that speaks about that because I have experience in Forex trading. And only those who adapt fast will come out on top. If you got value from this, drop a comment. Let me know which trend you believe in most right now. And don't forget to subscribe, because this cycle is just getting started. Let's build. See you in the next one.